And yeah, this is the start of my project. I've had this motorhome for 2 years, roughly 2 years. Paid around $4,000 for it. I don't know how often I'm going to be able to put in updates. I'm going to try to film what I take out of this, and also the process I'm going to use to put the two together. It's going to take a long time, months, if not years. I work pretty slow. My main objective is to just unbolt the body off of this, try to lift it off in one piece. The frame in the back's been smashed on this, so the back frame is pretty messed up, but it bolts on, and from there forward it's all good. Yeah, I'm not going to use the frame on this. I'm just interested in the bogies, front wheel drive, and some of the instruments. And yeah, like I said, my objective is to lift off the body, get that out of here, and then I'll just be looking at the drivetrain and the bogies, and leave those pretty much in one piece so I have to know how they're arranged, spacings. I reckon I'll have to modify some bits, the drive shafts. I think the fire truck's wider than this. And the frame is, I don't know where it is, probably narrower, frankly, than what this is. There's going to be a lot of challenges, but that's fun. I've got a drawing that I fished around a bit. I found this online. That's a drawing of the chassis mounts. I don't know, I've also gone online in talking to several people that have these and have done this before. Two in the front, and there's 2 or 3 along the frame, and then 2 in the back. And you can see the different ways that they attached. These are rubber isolation mountings like you normally see on a cab of a vehicle. These are just clamps. Clamp it down to the frame, and then in the back you've got chassis mounts again. But what they've also got are these isolation strips that insulate the body from the frame. You can see it's been pushed right up in there. The back end inside the beds and stuff were all smashed. It broke this tail cone, which is all fiberglass, I think. Yeah, fiberglass. But in here is the generator, and that's been smashed forward. Now, these bolts here go to a subframe, the rear subframe. And to get this out of here, I'm going to have to get rid of that subframe and probably cut some of this away. I'm not going to get too aggressive with this machine because right now I don't have any jacks. I need to get jacks to keep it from tipping forward or tipping backward. The generator weighs a bit. Right now it's a bit tail heavy. I don't have it quite balanced, so I can probably work a little bit on the subframe, but the generator would probably make it be too forward heavy. So anyways, just little things for now. I'm going to take these doors off, the bumper. This is the other door. Inside here is the propane tank. Here's an interesting note. There's another switch like this on the other side, but it's a pneumatic valve. And this is part of the system that allows the coach to automatically level itself on the road. You can see this link has actually come off because it doesn't quite reach. And although the other one hasn't done this, it hasn't pulled the arm out. And I don't know when this happened. This may have been this way for a long time. But this arm is bent, and it looks factory to me. I don't know. If it wasn't bent, it would kind of hit here. So yeah, anyways, by lifting it up like I have, the bogies have gone down as far as they can go. They're actually hanging off the shock absorbers. And I think that pulled this link out. So if you are intending to lift your coach up off the ground, and you know the bogies are going to hang free, you'll probably want to take this, disconnect the link here anyway. I'll show you the other side. See, this arm is straight, it's not bent. The link is intact. And this is not tight. You can still move this around. It's not hanging off of this. It's not hanging off this valve. I don't know. These are original bags. You can get retrofits that are a bag on each side and it goes up into a plate somehow. And I think there's a company that actually has new parts of these. I don't know how much. You can see the rubber's kind of perishing there. So these don't have much life left in them. But for the purposes of this project, I'll use these until they don't work. What's nice here is this has got this valve, and you can isolate this. Right now I've got the valve shut, so I can go ahead and pressure it up using this little Schrader valve there. You can pump this bag up, and it's isolated from inside using this valve. These bags right now, I think, are rated to 90 psi, and right now they've got 70 in them. And it got it quite a ways off the ground. Anyways, let's go up underneath and see what we can see for the mounting tabs. One of them is in here somewhere, but here's the other one. You can see it better. That's one of the body mounting tabs, rubber isolation there. That's 13.5 feet to the underside of that crossbar, but yeah, the coach is pretty high, and plus right there where the bar is, there's an air conditioning unit that adds another foot to the height. So anyways, I'm underneath it on a stool. There's a lever that's for a valve up over there, and there's a macerator pump over there, plus another valve, you can see. So, okay, mounting. This all looks retrofit here. This generator thing doesn't look original. That's not the original Onan generator that would have come in here anyway. Yeah, I think these come up unbolted all right. All right. What am I looking at here? Everything's busted. The tank's long dry. That's the black water tank. Interesting, when they retrofitted this receiver hitch, they put a nice heavy I-beam or a C-channel in there. Then they chopped half of it out or more just so they could run the black water pipe under it. So I don't know how strong that would have been. That looks modified to me. They got the exhaust pipe stuck through it. What else? It's like they left one of the tie-down straps when they hauled it over here. The wooden mounting, macerator, that's the macerator pump. Here's the other valve handle to operate this other valve. Let's see if we can find some of these mounts. Various copper pipes that go to, this would have been to the, no, that's to the gas supply. Tire's been rubbing. Where is the mounts? Okay, there's one of the mounts. You can see it up in there. And it looks like they're all accessible from the inside. So I'll lower this down and try to work on those. I've got one, and here's the other one. Okay, so there's only two mounts along the side. Just matches the drawing that I have. Frame otherwise appears to be in pretty good shape. It's not rusted out. It's not an East Coast rig, that's for sure. Can't hardly see it up in there. So there's one of them. And the other one right there. Okay, so there's, interesting. Use clothespins to get a view of it. Well, there's a whole bunch of clothespins. Well, I can hang my clothes up now. So this side and the other, I'm going to drill out these rivets. Get that out of the way. I was hoping one of these doors would be, or this door would be salvageable, but it's got a crack here. It's got even some cracks and damages here. It's been patched up pretty bad, so it is scrap. Something that's pretty cool is here's a little light. It's an orange light, which doesn't seem right. It's got a little switch here. You can turn it on and off. Pretty cool little fitting. That's an original thing. Well thought out, these motorhomes. That's not going to hurt anybody anymore. While I'm here, I guess I shall remove this propane tank. It's at the right height. I guess that would have been the level transmitter for the metering that used to be inside. So this here It's been rusted away for a long time. Nothing but rust in there. The lens is good. Not a lot left of that. It's all rusted away. However, the body is good. It just needs a new socket. The only thing left here is this fitting, which I'm stripping the thing, and that's a good piece of brass. So I'll get rid of that as well, and this little part here will be done. I think I'll take this bumper off next. Alrighty then. When the vehicle was wrecked, the glass broke out, and it's been kind of a risk for getting cut. Everything I take off back here is kind of, much of the glass is gone, but it's still falling out, and I have to be pretty careful with it. And I'm just going to keep the floor clean. If nothing else, it helps my little scooter run around the floor better. They're amazingly consistent with all these bolts. Everything is 9/16. It's broken. Too bad. Now that's a weird looking screw. That's what the screws look like. Kind of a really heavy, thick, coarse. Interesting. Never seen one like that before. The fiberglass. What I was trying to go through here is the alloy frame, which looks like this isn't a part of. It's something on the coach. And that doesn't really open it up for me. I'll need to take more stuff out. There we go. Now I can see clearly. I still can't get to the mounting point back here because it's kind of hidden by this frame and it's all smashed up in here. I'm gonna have to cut this out, cut that out, and I probably have to cut this out anyway because it's trapping the generator in there. I've got to get the battery out yet in there too. So I don't want to take that back cap off. I think it's giving support for the body. So I'll just cut that off here. And then just work on this frame. I think this is all alloy. Yeah, it's all alloy. I doubt it's stainless steel. So yeah, alloy. Should cut all right. What I really need in this case is a reciprocating saw, but I don't have one. It's one of the tools I just don't use often enough to warrant. I might get one later. What I do have is this tool that my friend Mick the plumber gave me, which is an air-powered saw. Pretty cool little thing. Let's see how that works. It's not the fastest thing. It's got a really fine blade on it. It's probably dull. So I think this will work. I just got to figure out how to change the blade. Well, there's a new blade. I don't think this is going to work very fast, but it's faster than me running to town to get another saw. Ooh, motorhome rocks. Need to get some stands. Here we go. That's what goes in there. And I can get to this. It's going right into that alloy frame. So all I have to do, instead of taking the bolt out, I don't know, maybe better to leave that frame there because it's part of what keeps the shell together. It's a big old nut and it's rusted in there. All right, I think I'm going to try to bust this bolt loose using this and a wrench. This is a it's a 15/16. I think this breaker bar would get it. but I don't have an extension to go up inside. So, what does that mean? Maybe I don't need it. Try that. Oh boy, that's going to fight me the whole way. I'm going to try to attack it a different way and just, there's 4 bolts that hold on this big bracket, so I'll just take them out. So that's a lesson for the other one too. Just take these 4 bolts out because they come out. That's loose. It's nothing holding that in anymore. So, one step closer to getting this frame out. These 4 bolts out, those 4 bolts out. I need to cut the exhaust pipe because it's kind of stuck through the frame there. And then I can start working on the 4 bolts to take the subframe out, and then maybe I can get to the generator. This would have been another good use for a cutoff saw, but I still don't have one. Okay, so these bolts are 3/4. Oh, what's going on here? Those bolts are behind something. What? Oh my gosh. Okay, so this part bolts onto here. I got to get that off before I can see these. I'm just going to cut them off. Making progress. Okay. That worked. Well, there's the frame, and it was stuck on that bracket there, the chassis mount. This side is all cut out for the black water pipe, and had to cut that bracket so that it would clear this bolt here, or that big bolt there, and then that's the damaged smash. Started working on this frame here. I'm just looking to see how it's in there. It used to be welded here, but that's broken off. I got to cut it off here. This piece here I just hit with a hammer. It was welded on to the side of this, but that broke right off. So now that's not attached there. There are some screws here. That might be attached right there with a screw. But I can't get to it because it's hidden there. So I'll cut this off for now and see what I can do without that. That's good news. It's definitely tied to this piece, so it must be a couple of screws at least. And that might still be broken, not broken off completely. Well, good. Look at that. When the battery broke, that's all battery acid caused that. So when the battery got smashed, that's what it did to whatever. It dissolved. This is in the way. Some wiring. Gotta get that out of the way. There's a fuel line here. There's a valve. I can shut that, take that off. Should hopefully hold fuel from wherever, probably the main fuel tank. So let's take these off first. I'm taking this out because I don't think the generator will slide out with it in place. I am not really sure how this comes out. I've been taking out a couple of wires, just disconnecting them and laying them on this pan. This is not the original generator. It would have been an Onan. So the previous owner put this in. I found a couple of bolts. There's a little bit of a frame here that looks like it was added later, so I'm thinking this is what supports this retrofit. There's 2 bolts up underneath behind the frame. I don't see anything else. So I'm going to take these 2 bolts out underneath and see what happens. I don't want to get too ambitious with this because it's not really supported. This thing weighs a bit. I've got some jack stands coming that will support the fore to aft rocking anyway, if nothing else, and give me a bit more security, so I don't really want to get underneath there. Yeah, let's see where this goes. Torch doesn't lend much light to the problem. Nothing in here is steel, so the magnet doesn't stick to anything. There it does. I've been taking apart little bits of wire. I've already pulled out this isolation switch that was stuck there. And there's some battery cables from the battery, fuel line that I cut off, some remote start, stop. There's some solenoids here, there's solenoids here, there's another switch up in there. All I'm going to do is this cable goes to the back of this divider, comes out, comes to the solenoid. So I'm just going to take it off because that would be a problem. Okay, that's going to fall out of there, so get something underneath it. Yes. What we got here is a generator. I've given the generator a bit of a wash, the pressure washer, because it was pretty messed up. Yeah, there's wires hanging out of it. I got to figure out how that works. I've been behind this plate. There's some complication going on inside there. Fuel line. Some of the wiring. You can see where that goes in. It's just, I think it's supposed to, it's broken, but it holds together. Then you get these other bits of wires too. I don't know where all these go or what their purpose is. But because of the smash, this is an inspection plate, and it came off of that cover there, which is aluminium, and that's kind of bent up there. You can kind of see. I'll have to straighten that out a bit. Put that back on. I don't know that this was part of the generator or part of the original Onan, but it doesn't look like there's any extra holes drilled in it. Those holes there seem to match up with these holes here. These are the isolation dampeners, and they're also kind of bent up. I'll have to be fixing those. And you can see these 2 rubbers are missing. Those 2 are there. This one's kind of hung onto there. One of them's supposed to go there. But interestingly, these are not directly coupled to the generator because that's a great big belt. You can kind of see the belt there. It goes between the motor and the generator. And it's not a sealed unit. That pipe there is the exhaust. So I think this is a good viable generator. It just needs some small repairs. Yeah, so that'll be completion of part 2, GMC Motorhome teardown. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Give me a thumbs up.